Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Sovereign Goddess Podcast. Authentic conversations with modern medicine women and goddesspreneurs alike, inspiring you to build your queendom with grace. I'm your host, Sabrina Riccio, and I'm so excited about this coming episode for you. Don't mind me, I'm recording right now at 11:30 p.m. But I said I was going to get this podcast out today, so I am sticking to my word and I'm getting this podcast out today. I am gearing up to go to Tucson, Arizona tomorrow to hit the Tucson Gem and Mineral Show. Essentially, I am buying all the crystals and all of the products for my clients and upcoming clients, and for my upcoming group coaching program that I'm putting together. I told you I was doing it, and I'm telling you I'm doing it. And there's going to be some new additions to the ceremony shop. And I'm really excited about it. I just really want to continue to share with you the tools and the high vibe items, I guess is the best way to say. Like I've got all the Palo Santo and the sage and the smoke signals kits. And then there's also the Shamanic Dream, which is my alchemy sprays as part of the ceremony shop. But I am including more crystals to my online shop because I'm super passionate about tools like yoni eggs and so much more. So I just spilled the beans. Yes, I'm going yoni egg shopping. But so I'm really excited to be around a lot of the minerals and the gems, and to even connect with a whole bunch of other my friends that are going to be there because it's going to be popping. But anyways, I've been really excited, and this whole year has been feeling really good. As I've mentioned before, like ever since really tapping into my body and feeling that my nervous system is getting stronger after my lightning accident and a lot of trauma. It just feels really good. I've been doing my daily practice every day to really balance my nervous system and really strengthen that, and to come from that space of mercy and compassion. I shared on my Instagram what to do, so if you want to learn, go check it out. But I've been sharing with you throughout the year my passion for Kundalini Yoga, and I'm really stepping more into this space. And I know I asked you guys too over on Instagram at Sabrina Riccio what you want to hear more of, and you guys are all like, oh, more Kundalini Yoga. So I've been sharing more Kundalini Yoga, and it's so fun. I love it. And I'm so passionate about it because it entered into my life during a time when I was so lost and super isolated and trapped in my own nightmare. And I don't think I would be here if it weren't for Kundalini Yoga. And I'm really excited to share with you this episode today because Brianna Rose, who I have on this podcast, she's bringing a lot of Kundalini Yoga and infusing it into business. And I do feel like that is so of the future of where it's going. And we have to really tap into our creative energy that lives within us. And last Sunday, I did a talk in LA talking about Kundalini Yoga and finding balance with the divine masculine and the divine feminine within us in order to really bring in conscious empowerment and make change in the world, because the future has to include both of masculine and feminine energies. And so the future just can't be female. It has to be inclusive. And so being able to really just anchor in and heal our energy, and seeing how as we do the work, it also helps heal our business. It feels so good. And I mean, that's, like I'm telling you, has been the ultimate game changer for me, is just realizing like everything is energy, and what I put in is what I'm going to receive, and what I put out is also what I'm going to receive. So just really be aware of that, who you're surrounding yourself with, what you're telling yourself, really honoring and trusting your process, and to just really allow yourself to be present with it, and to release the judgment about how long it's taking or what it looks like or what everyone else is doing. And I just want you to become more conscious in all areas of your life, and to recognize that there are so many spiritual practices and tools that are here and ready to help you. You just have to allow yourself to open up to it and be willing to do the work, because it's not easy all the time. Like, it can come with ease and grace, but you have to allow yourself to surrender. And sometimes that means like being gentle with yourself and really just like, if you're feeling like shit, like honor that, but don't allow yourself to turn around. Like don't wallow in that too long. But we can't be bypassing. Like you need to be able to feel what you're feeling, because that feeling is actually part of the feminine energy that you have, the ascension up, and the way that you really, the path to enlightenment, I should say, is so much of the masculine energy moving forward. But to be able to embody the energy coming in and birth that in, that is the feminine energy. So this is a time of deep manifestation in our businesses and in our lives. And we talked a lot about that in this episode. And I just love Brianna Rose. Like, I love this girl so much. I met her through the community of Gabby Bernstein, because we were both Spirit Junkie Masterclass graduates, and she was doing an offer, and I was like, girl, I'm the shaman. And I've also had the pleasure of doing a one-on-one reading for her, and she came in and got to do some Reiki on her and do some readings, and it was super awesome. And I'm just super grateful for the connections of the interwebs and the people that I've met that are doing amazing things. And this girl, I love her. It's not very many people I get to talk about Kundalini in business with, so I love this girl a lot. And as we talked about, she's the New York to my California, and vice versa. I mean, we are each other's yin and yangs. And yeah, so I just love her, and she has amazing one-on-one work that she's doing that's really their business Shakti activation, and she's even doing a lot of branding with La Luna, and it's so cool to see like her doing it and really sharing her strengths and her unique taste and take on business and energy. And she also has been doing these really awesome videos. I've been watching them on Facebook. She has this new group, and it's called the Rising Light Sisterhood, and she's just sharing like truth bomb after truth bomb and her knowledge and her satnam about business, and her through her weekly business activations. And this girl, I love this woman so much. She's a goddess, and she's so passionate to just really help soulpreneur people and women get aligned and activated in their business. She's very passionate on energy work, and she's really here to really help women uncover their gifts and share their voice, and to really tap into their fullest prosperity potential. And so she's raising the consciousness clearly on the planet, and she's just like so sweet. She's the sweetest. I love this gem. But anyways, I really feel like you're going to love this episode. It's going to really inspire you as you really honor yourself, as you heal and activate yourself, to really see that in your business too, and to just really be gentle and just connect with your body. And we talked a lot about having the courage to do the deeper work in order to be a light leader, because through that work and that grit, you just are able to really show up and be the lighthouse. And you have permission to be you. That is the truth. You can be you. You have full permission and an opportunity to reinvent and rebrand yourself if that's what you're doing. It's what I've done twice, and now I'm like owning more and like stepping into my space as Sabrina Riccio, and it's been really empowering for me. But along the way, I've had to really honor like my journey and have my own pace. Like slow and steady wins the race, and to just really not compare myself to how everyone's doing this and this and this, and just like honoring where I'm at and knowing that where I am is enough. And that is my prayer and intention for you too. And so just allow yourself to do the work. And we're going through this like massive like throat chakra healing, and I was talking to her, it just came through like, I feel like as an American, like America's also going through a rebranding right now, and people are really reclaiming their power. And so this is just such a perfect interview and a perfect topic to talk about, as we're still in the fresh month and the fresh part of the new year. And you have any opportunity and every opportunity to reinvent yourself if you feel like you're ready to really show up, and we're here to support you. And just really be aware that like we need you and we're ready for your medicine, and we hope that you are too. And so just really allow yourself to like enjoy what you're doing and enjoy who you are, and know that, you know, just be you, who you are. Like simply being and who you are is enough. So always remember that you are more than enough. But anyways, I'm really excited to be sharing this episode with you. I feel like it's really going to inspire you and empower you. And also, I wanted to share with you, if you decide to leave a review, woohoo, if you leave a review on the podcast through iTunes, and if you take a screenshot and email it to me at hello@shamanessagodessa.guru. The link is, I'll write the address on the show notes. If you send a screenshot of your review, I will do a free 15-minute soul spread. So those are my intuitive card readings. And again, if you just take a photo of it and send it to me, we can set up a time. So I'll do a little card reading for you. Space is limited, and I'm pretty excited about it, but I need your help, and I want to really build this community to a space that is really inspiring people to like really build their queendom with grace, and to really show up in the world sharing their gifts and living their truths and sharing their authentic radness. Like that is my intention, is to just allow this podcast and so much of my work to just really inspire people to like live a full and vibrant life that is uniquely theirs and is so real and raw and fresh and beautiful and just so awesome. So again, if you just can help a sister out and leave your reviews, I would greatly appreciate it. And we're also on YouTube now, so you can watch this interview on YouTube. If you're listening to it on iTunes or Stitcher or SoundCloud, all the gems, right? It's just like all over the place now, all the blessings all over the place. But I'm very thrilled about this episode. I'm very thrilled to be here with you and for you to really keep up with what I've got going on. You're going to be hearing more about my new coaching program that I'm putting out in the next coming weeks, and I'm so excited. It's going to be so fun. But this is a really big year for us to come together as community, and I just really want to thank you for showing up and being here. I've been seeing that there's a couple new reviews about the podcast, and you guys are really loving it, and just the love that I've been getting from your messages on Instagram and everything. I really appreciate it. So without further ado, I'm excited to share with you this new episode of the Sovereign Goddess podcast, Aligning and Activating Your Sacred Business with Brianna Rose. Enjoy! Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Sovereign Goddess podcast. Authentic conversations with modern medicine women and goddesspreneurs alike, inspiring you to build your queendom with grace. Okay, so we've already like checked in with each other here, like this awesome light being here, and we've been like tuning in and like chatting right before this interview, and it's already been like so fun. So I like, this is gonna really inspire you. You know, we're in this new year coming up, and it's like the perfect opportunity to really be who you are. Like, we're in this year of the butterfly, of the emergence of our truth. And so a lot of people right now are like, you know what, I really want to follow my dreams. I really want to start this business. I really want to stop playing small. I really want to show up. I really want to share my gifts. And who I have on this podcast episode today, oh my God, I love Brianna Rose so much.
I love you.
It's like, it's so, I just feel really grateful because the way we met, the way we met into like where we are now, it's just been
so beautiful.
Yeah. So I feel super grateful for the interwebs to like have these kinds of connections, you know, and then Brianna lives in New York and I'm a New Yorker by blood. And so that's why we just got along. And she's like, my soul's in California. And I'm in California. So it's like this perfect, like balance, kind of yin yang. It's literally yin yang. Like,
it is.
I'm like your dot in New York. And
yes.
you're like my dot in California. But it's true, you know, like there is this beautiful harmony, and like I love this woman so much, and the work that she's doing right now and bringing Kundalini Yoga into branding and business is something that is just like so rad. And you know, like it's what it is. This is the future of like real business, like conscious business is, you know, being able to remember that we are gods and goddesses, and that we have tools ready for us to really like clear out the bullshit, clear out the blocks, clear out the things that are stopping us from playing small, like really show up and like see it face to face, so that we can really be the light we wish to see in the world, really share our gifts, really show up and like be authentically who we are, because at our authentic innate core, we are spirit, we are love, and everything else is just blockades and walls to prevent us from like really showing up. So I just wanted to really say thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. That was beautiful.
I'm in flow right now.
Yeah.
Like, we tuned in at 11:11 and I like freaked out. I was like, oh my God, alignment. So, like I'm telling you, this is going to be really activating for you guys.
Yes.
Because I would love for you to talk about like what you're seeing is happening. Because I remember you were talking about it like a month ago or so on like your Instagram, how like everyone's really showing up to like rebrand their businesses. I know for me, like the fact that like I dropped Shamanessa Gadessa as my handle went to my name, that was a huge like, and a huge step for me, but I did it, you know? So it's like, what are you seeing with like people like showing up and like showing their name and not so much hiding behind a brand as much?
Yeah. Well, I think that hits it, you know, really hard. Like even for me, I just went through a massive rebrand, and although my name kind of used to be in my business is Brianna Rose Branding, it was just like, you know, I was hiding behind this like piece of branding, and now it's I am Brianna Rose. Like it's just like stepping into that presence. And literally every client that I've been working with since like, I would say since like June, July-ish, like they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm ready to stop hiding. Like this isn't working. Like I'm trying to be this person. I'm trying to follow what this person's doing. I'm trying to do this and this and this and this and this and isn't working. So I feel like people are just like at this point where they're fed up with hiding, but they're also scared because they don't know what to do, because you've been hiding for so long, you've been blending in for so long. So it's like, you know that there's something there that you have to go in on, but the steps aren't always laid out the way that we thought that they would be. So that's what I'm noticing, is that these people are like ready to go, they're ready to shine, they have all these ideas, but then it's just like taking the action upon it is where like that missing step is, because we still have a lot of fear out there, because we feel like we have to like stay small and blend in and do what everyone else is doing, when we all have our own energetic blueprint, we all have our own soul's journey, and our businesses should be reflected in that.
Totally. Yeah. And it's been, I know, like being able to show up and be like vulnerable and authentic and real, and being like owning our radness and like owning like who we are, you know, it takes courage. And so much of that is like solar plex healing of like that confidence and, you know, I can do this, or, you know, I'm really worthy of showing up. I know I'm really experiencing that a lot with myself too. Like going with this like parasite issue I've been experiencing, and like seeing how that like was an entity within myself that really was like taking my energy. And so to really like working with our bodies to also make room to anchor in and be like a channel to download this is super crucial. And I know like you're a Kundalini Yoga teacher, I'm a Kundalini Yoga teacher, and we can't deny the power of Kundalini Yoga. I know for me, it's dramatically changed my life, like from deep levels of psychosis and paranoia, and really just restructuring and rewiring my brain, you know? And so as we're in this like golden era, this Aquarian age, like how do you feel that these tools are really like, if you really, I feel like, do you feel like if you really want to excel, like you really need to be working with tools like this because of the way the landscape is shifting in the world right now, like this paradigm shift that's happening?
Yeah, like I feel like we can't deny it any longer, right? Like we used to do like all the, like the little fluffy stuff, like just like meditate and like vision board and like get a crystal or whatever. And like it's really about the deeper work that we have to go through to get to this higher level of light leadership, of consciousness, of movement in our business. And it's I think it's like unearthing all of those things that we've suppressed. And we feel like if we just put like this little mini band-aid on it, that we'd be okay. And it's not okay, because like that band-aid needs to get ripped off, and we need to heal that deeper piece of ourselves. And, you know, just like not give a shit about what anyone else is thinking or saying about us, and just owning our authentic power instead of just like trying to hide and blend in.
Yeah. Because it's like, I think people are really owning like their gifts now. I think as like
Yes.
there's like more, like again, there's more courage, because as more and more people that either they're following on Instagram or they're surrounding themselves with,
Totally.
like they're seeing like other people doing it. So it's giving them permission to be like, all right, like
Exactly.
it's possible and it's doable and I really want it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
And I think that's a powerful message too, because it's also a message for that person seeing it, because like if you rise up, like there's going to be people watching you too that will rise up as well. So it creates like that domino effect, right? Like as you rise up and you uplift and you share your story, you're giving permission for other people to do it as well.
Because it goes back to that like Aquarian basis that like these times are more about community than competition. You
Exactly.
know, and I feel like that's why we're seeing so much of what's going on in the world right now, is because it's like the death of that old paradigm of like the competition and that fighting. But then when you bless with light and you bless with love those areas, they get to start to become healed. Like they're on their healing journey.
Sure.
You know, so that's not all this that's happening too, as we strengthen our own like core and our own sense of being with practices like Kundalini Yoga and living authentically. When those episodes come up, or those parts and throughout the day where, you know, you're seeing something that's like triggering, you can realize like, hey, like this is part of my healing process to really root out that, to shower that with love, and to realize that love is the strongest force there is.
Yeah. And to forgive and to surrender and to trust, right? Like,
yeah,
allow yourself to just like go in there.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, there's a lot going on, but I also feel super grateful because there's a lot of people that are, like I said, stepping up, and there's a lot of people that are, you know, saying like, there's another way to live.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to live like this any longer. You could just be you. And that's something that I've been talking about I've just been getting like a new flood of people like contacting me for like, you know, calls to hop on with. And everyone's like, I just want to be myself. And I'm like, guess what? You can. Yeah. It's so beautiful. Like you don't have to be anyone but you. That's the beauty of the way this online marketing has turned into. It's just authenticity. It's just being who you are, sharing what you do. Like literally, like think about like Insta stories. Like you're just like showing your world to people. Like you don't have to do anything anymore. You're just you. And people are like, fuck yeah, I want to be like that. I want to be like that girl. She's cool.
Totally. I mean,
that's how your market shows up for you. That's how your soulmate clients come in.
They want realness. Like they want
exactly.
It's like you can't be bullshitting anymore. Like people's bullshit.
No, you can't hide. You can't hide.
You can't. I know, it's so funny because I'm always like, my Insta stories, I'm like ragged as fuck. Like my hair's all
you're beautiful.
I have no makeup on. I'm like, let me tell you what's going on in Joshua Tree right now. Okay?
But you know, when you're raw and you're authentic, like people feel that, right? And people connect with that, because the person that's watching you do that is also at home, like with like messy bun on, like sweatpants, it's just like chilling. Like we're not always done up and, you know, ad perfect.
Yeah, for sure. So I wanted like go into a little bit more about like reinventing yourself. You know what I mean? Because I feel like when you're rebranding, like I feel like you're so part of your business as a goddesspreneur. It's like an arm to you, right?
Totally.
But so when you're like doing this like rebranding journey, and you're also finding yourself like reinventing yourself, what has been some of the processes that you do with like your clients?
Sure. Well, I think like what's been happening is not only just for myself when I rebranded, but with my clients, like they always say to me, they're like, whoa, I didn't realize this was going to be such a healing process, because we're just taught like, oh, we make the website, or it's colors, or it's fonts, or whatever it is. And it's, there's a huge like soul journey that we have to go through to reconnect your voice with your business, and reconnect the colors with who you are, and making sure that it's just you, and it flows and it feels good, and your vibration is infused into everything that you do. So like when I'm designing for myself or for clients, like it's not just like I'm showing up and I'm designing, like it's like a whole experience. Like it's like candles are lit, like mantras are being played, like I'm channeling their energy, because that's where it's at right now. Like your website, like your branding, it's like your digital home, and people need to feel you in that. So to be able to get to that point, you have to know who you are, right? Like you have to be able to express to me like what's going on in your world. You have to know yourself. You have to be in alignment with what you're putting out into the world, because people will feel that, whether they're like spiritual or intuitive or not. They'll go onto your website and be like, that, like, I don't connect with that. That doesn't sound right. But if you like pour your heart and soul into it, like your message should move you at such a deep core place. And that's when you know that you've hit it. Like that's like the right movement for you. That's the right space for you, when it just flows. And to get to that point, you have to pull back a lot of the layers that we've put in front of us.
Right. Yeah. Cause I feel like, I know over time, as I've been redefining my business, you know, there's always things that I'll add or I'll take out. And then it's like feeling it and being like, this feels good. Like this feels aligned. This feels right.
You know, I think not rushing it. I think like that's also like an old pattern, is that, you know, especially me being from New York, it's like go 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 go, gotta get it out. And it's like, no, like let's put a pause on that, and like let's reflect, let's tune back in, let's see if this really feels good. Because otherwise all of that like rushing, pushing energy gets trapped. Like it gets trapped in your content that gets put out, your services gets putting out. And you know, you don't want that to be like, you know, what your vibration is. You want it to be like really centered and secure and grounded and aligned and activated, and you want to feel really good when you see it, not like, oh yeah, I was fucking stressed out when I was creating that, you know. And like I think one of the biggest things is that we're so taught that in order to create success, we have to create like this whirlwind of craziness for ourselves, when it could just be really pure and blissful, and pump out like, you know, our packages and our content and all that yummy stuff from a really great grounded place.
Yeah, because that's the space, that's like who authentically you are, right? Exactly. Like all the busyness and stuff is just the outside pressure. Just really, that could either be like through the stories that you're telling yourself that aren't very supportive, the limitations, like the people around you, the comparisons, it's all those limiting things. Because what, as unlimited potential, who you are as unlimited potential is actually that state of bliss and that state of flow. Like that's who you are at your core.
Totally. You know, and it's such a beautiful place to be in. When you feel it, you're like, oh yeah, like it just feels so good, because there's nothing holding you back. Like your ego has checked out for a little bit, and you can like really tune in and just channel your business. Your business has its own energy and entity that you could tune into at any moment.
Well, I really love how you keep saying that, like this whole like rebranding process is a healing practice. And because like, I know with my own experience, that's been like so true. I remember when I had Peace Love EDM and I was doing like music journalism, and then I was trying to bring spirituality into that, but it wasn't making sense in that way. So then I switched to Shamanessa Gadessa, and it was just like that whole kind of, rebranding from that level of like getting clear, you know, and really like being honest with what's really inspiring me. Because I think that's the other thing too. Like you can, like, to really shine, you have to do work that's like inspiring you, like in spirit. You know, you have to like really be feeling like, yeah, this is I know this is like what's needed in the world right now. And I know it's helped me, so that I want it to help other people.
Totally. Yeah. And I think that's a good point to bring up. I think that's a big shift too. Like when I was, like rebranding and recreating my services, everything that I created was so intentional. It wasn't just like, oh, this is what all the coaches are doing, let me follow suit, or this is how you're supposed to do your course, let me do that. It was just like, no, let me tune back in, let me clear all that ego stuff out, feeling like I have to blend in, I have to do what everyone else is doing. Let me come from a place of just like beautiful intention and bliss, and that like will rock people so hard because it's so beautiful and curated, and everyone has the potential to do that. We just ignore it. We feel like we have to like push it out.
So good. Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how the playing field shifts as 2018. And,
Yeah.
and it's interesting because like, I'm really working on like shifting my perception about like what's going on in the world. And even though like, our 45 here is very, he's like really and doing like terrible things in the world. It's interesting because I feel like a lot of people are just like it's pushing people's buttons to a point where like they can't be hiding in business or in life that really isn't aligned. And I think that's why there is like a wave of entrepreneurship that's also happening, is because people want to stop working 9-to-5s for companies that are soul sucking, and they're like, you know what, like I've had the experience now, and that was part of the journey, and so I'm just gonna like use this as a way to heal what's going on in the world. Like, you know what I mean? I just feel like there's so much healing happening right now, and like it's showing up in business, it's showing up in life, it's showing up in health, like the evolution of health. And I don't know. What do you feel like is really happening right now? Like with everything that's going on, like what do you, like when you tune in, like what do you feel like is happening as like America's getting a rebranding, or like,
yeah, you're right. America's getting a rebranding. I think we've gotten to a point as like a collective that we're almost like fed up, right? And we're like, well, we might as well just do what we want to do because we're not happy with where we're at right now. So it's like you either stay miserable and stay stuck and not do anything about it, or rise up and do what your heart is telling you to do. And you could be miserable doing that too, but you could also be so fucking happy and abundant and live this life that you've always wanted to do, right? So you might as well try it. You might as well jump out there and see what happens and see how your voice can be heard. And I think America as a whole, we're all getting like a throat chakra healing, right? Like
totally.
We're all like, we're trying to like rise up and share our voice and speak and show ourselves, like even just with the rise of just like what's happening in social media, like we like Insta stories, like we're there, like hello, like you can't hide, like it's not just an image anymore that you're posting, it's you yourself, or going live on Facebook or doing these podcasts or webinars, like people are just showing up. Like you just like have to get over the fact that you're afraid, and you just have to listen to that voice and speak it and allow that to speak through you versus just hiding it. Because if you keep hiding it, you're not doing anything, you're staying stuck and you're staying sick, because a lot of times that will always manifest into some sort of physical ailment. So I feel like people are realizing that, and they're like, I might as well just show up and see what happens.
Yeah. And like you're talking about this throat chakra, and I know you have like your 7-day chakra activation.
Yes.
Like, yeah, totally. So if you're feeling like this throat chakra of like expression and like speaking your truth, like what other chakras would you say are really like healing or really strengthening right now?
I mean, I feel like, as soulpreneurs, right, we're always like crown chakra, third eye, like we got that covered, right? It's the lower stuff that we have to work
lower
through.
Triangle.
Yeah, like that's like, I think that's something that we're so easily can just like ascend up and connect, but we never take that inspired action because we don't have that lower triangle situated, right? Like we never get everything going, or we're not, it's a balance between the divine feminine and masculine. So we have to have that sexy structure to have our flow.
Totally. Yeah. So if you guys don't know the bottom triangle, it's essentially the root chakra, the solar plexus, and the sacral chakra. It's the bottom 3 chakras, because that, according to Kundalini Yoga, that represents the physical body. And then the heart is the center point. And then the top 3 of the throat, the third eye, and the crown are your spiritual body. So just wanted to get that.
Yes. Yeah. Root chakra for sure. Because, we're getting grounded in ourselves. Right. Yeah. So it's like, as you get grounded, then the throat can open up, because like you need to know what the hell to say.
Yeah. And it's like, the thing is too, is if your bottom chakras aren't stable and like strong, you can't live from the higher chakras.
Exactly. And I think that that's something that a lot of people misconceive, because they're like, I just want to be awakened. I don't like, you don't know how many times I hear this from people. I don't want to be grounded. I don't want to be grounded. I'm like, yeah, like I fucking get it, but like, you're not going to get anything done. Like nothing, like your work will not take off the way it needs to be, because you need to come from a grounded place to take action upon it, to get that flowing, to be able to even hear, see, and feel clearly. You have to be grounded. You can't just be like up in space floating around. Like we can have sacred time for that, and that's beautiful, but you know, at our root, we're humans and we have to do the work here.
Yeah, I know that. Like for me, I've been like doing a lot more vinyasa yoga because that feels very grounding to me, and like Kundalini feels super astral for me.
Yeah.
So like I like to bring the both of that, but it's interesting because even when we talk about the lower triangle, you know, it's so much of our generation, like we're going through this, like we're like really taking the time to heal. I feel like our generation, we're like, dude, like we had some fucked up things that happened in our childhood or like in our adolescence. Like we're the 9/11 kids, you know? So it's like, there's a lot of trauma in our sacral chakras and our solar plexus during those years of like working on, you know, puberty, going through that part. And then like having this like really heavy energy from like all of this like money war and all these things that are happening in the world. And so then it's like, that's where I feel like we're so fed up as millennials, and we're just like, fuck this, there's another way to do it, because the other way feels right, and that's like anchoring in heaven on earth. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's really beautiful that we're doing this healing work, that, you know, some of us are in our like 20s or our 30s where we're still young, we still have a lot of life ahead of us, and we're like really doing this work now, so that even like our children, like we can help bring in, just as you would bring in a conscious business, you would bring in like conscious future. You know what I mean? Because to me, there's no separation. Like to me, I live a soulistic life. So that is like my soul is in my work. It's in my life, my health, my relationships, like everything is ruled by my soul, you know? And I feel like this next generation, like there's a lot of optimism and hope, because we're doing a lot of the clearing and stuff that our parents didn't do. You know what I mean? And so even learning from our parents about business, you know, but there's still that generation ahead of us that were entrepreneurs and stuff. A lot of them still have a very big scarce mentality. You know what I mean? So it's like, how would you say you are seeing this like shift of a more abundant mentality, either with like in the world or with your clients, or what are you seeing as like people are really anchoring and owning more of that?
Yeah, it's interesting that you brought that up. Not a lot, but I would say a bunch of people that I've connected with, you know, as clients, we all have like this scarcity mindset from our parents, where it's like you want to go out and do the thing and do your business or whatever, but they're like, oh, but my parents said this, or my parents want me to have health insurance, or my parents want me to have a 401k, or my parents, and it's so funny, like that's always the story. It's never that they feel that way. It's something from their parents that's being projected onto them. So for me, I think it's interesting how, you know, that is within us, right? And like, but we're still taking the next step, and we're still going forward with it. And like, as we start to do that and we start to heal, those voices become smaller and smaller and smaller, because once you tap into the energy of abundance, like everything else kind of shifts for you, right? Because energy, money is just energy. So once you are able to heal yourself, your energy, like your spiritual muscles get really strong, right? And those muscles can hold different vibrations of abundance and of prosperity. So that's a lot of the work that I do on myself and I do with clients, is really helping to heal those karmic patterns and those limiting beliefs that have been passed down to us. So that way we can excel higher and rise higher and hold different vibrations of abundance and begin to up level and tap into our own prosperity potential.
Awesome. And I feel like a lot of our generation too, like we are so philanthropically driven, you know, like a lot of us, like we're like the invisible children, you know, like that's what I felt like was the first like big nonprofit that kind of like really like played a pivotal role in my life during my teen years, you know. And I think that was like a really good way to anchor in like the idea of like, even with business and not being in a scarcity but being in an abundant place, to like be able to give to organizations. And that, you know, I feel like we're very more of a philanthropic generation than been seen, you know, like unfortunately there's all these fires in California, like right now as we're recording this. And I've been seeing so many people on their Insta stories, like post links to numbers or ways to donate. Like I feel like our generation's even more, there's like a likelihood for us to be more, you know, giving and charitable in that way too. And I feel like that's a really great way for business too, of like that mindset of, you know, we're all in this together. And I think it's really important to also be donating to organizations that are really in aligned with your business, or like really in aligned with the message that you're doing. And I know you help a lot of people with like finding, like getting clear on their message and like, you know, why they're doing the work that they're doing. It's like, what are you seeing with people and the people that you're working with?
I think, you know, I think as a generation that we are, you know, we're always looking to do better, to do greater. How can we help? Right. Like, I think that's like, it's like Archangel Raphael is within all of us. Like we're all trying to like heal and help and, you know, take on the world and different ways that we could do something better to help people. And, you know, you see that within, you know, all of our communities now where there's, you know, you can donate or you can take care of someone. And with the online world, it's like, you know, think about what's happening right in California. There's people all over the world that can see it, that are posting all day long on Instagram, like how to donate, how to take care. And I think, you know, with businesses, that's, you know, that's where we're shifting into, is taking care of other people as well. Not this mindset where we have to like hoard everything and hold it within us, that it's okay to give it to those in need, because as you give, you can receive. So it's like a healing lesson there. And I, you know, you said something about connecting with other businesses that share your message. And I think that that's really important, is to really even just know what your message is first and foremost and what you stand for, to be able to connect with those other businesses that resonate with you.
Yeah. And then and then once there's clarity on all levels, and you guys can really come together and like show up in a way that's like really monumentally changing to someone's life, you know?
Totally. Yeah. When you can show up and you know who you are and you can share your voice, like your voice will change the world, right? Like in Kundalini, we talk about that, like the resonance of your sound. And when you can connect to your own sound current, that's like the most powerful gift that you could give to yourself into the world.
Totally. So it's also being aware that, you know, that sound current, like the words that you're saying to yourself are more positive and uplifting and more towards like growth than it is towards like disappointment or like, you know, like
you suck. It's like, no, I forgive myself. Like whatever.
Personally. Yeah. I think, you know, over time, the art of forgiveness is really, like it starts with self-forgiveness, you know, because we're all doing our best based on like how aware we are.
Totally.
And so it's going to be, I feel like with this new year, I'm really interested to see how business is going to shift. You know, as I went to business school. So it's like, I'm super fascinated by branding and marketing and how the playing field is really adapting to what is going on in the world, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of partnerships, right? I think we're just going to start coming together more. And it's, you know, I think we're already starting to see that kind of right now, like within the past couple of months of people joining forces. And it's going to be really cool to see the continuation of that and see, you know, how people begin to share their message together and to reach different communities, because right, when you have two people like us, right, like your community is going to show up and my community is going to show up to listen to this. And so, you know, it's really important for us as light leaders to step up and share our voice, because we want this message to be shared and to be spread.
Right. I don't know about you, but I'm sure you can agree. I have faith for the future. Hey.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. We're doing awesome work. Like, you know, wherever you could do, if you just like are standing up and being the light, if you're, you know, just at your 9 to 5 and you're like really nice and you're a bright light at work, like that will change the consciousness in your workplace. And that's where it starts.
Yeah, for sure. And then I think a lot of too, like that's why you have like, you know, your business Shakti activation, like 3-month mentorship program is just like really bringing in that masculine feminine balance too. That's something that a lot of the work that I do too is just like really finding that balance between like when is time for work and when is time for play, and creating the systems to allow that space to happen. And, you know, just really tapping into that creative spark within. So I would love for you to talk a little bit about your business activation, Chalky Day activation.
Yeah.
3-month program.
It's an incredible program. Like I said before, everything that I create is super intentional, and it's kind of like what I did for myself, you know, and I was like the test run, and then I was like, shit, like this is incredible. Let me share this with the world and let me make it so beautiful and yummy for people. So it's a 3-month one-on-one coaching program focused on bringing Kundalini into your life, and we really go there really deep energetically. And it's not about just, you know, the formulas. It's more about building your business from the inside out, healing your energy, healing your blockages, healing your trauma, healing your ancestral runes, whatever it might be, because that is really what's holding you back from hitting that success factor in your business. And once you're able to hear that, your voice becomes more clear. You start to just know yourself. And when you know yourself, you know your voice, you can share it. It can become more clear. Then your community starts to show up for you. So everything is about looking at, you know, your energy, your energetic blueprint, because that is the framework for your business, because your business is an expression of you. So if you have all this shit going on, so is your business. So it's about going into your energy and seeing where your imbalances lie. And I create a customized Kundalini Kriya for you according to your energy through Chinese medicine to balance you out. We look at your astrology to see when are good points to create, when are good times to launch, when are good times to do PR. You know, all of that is held within your energy. So it's building your business and framework based off of your energy versus like a cookie cutter formula. It's really fun.
Girl.
Yeah,
I think
we go there.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's like the biggest part of business too, is just like making sure that you are like feeling good, you know, like,
yeah,
you can't really show up with your business if you're feeling like the blocks in your own life.
Totally. Yeah. And the more aligned you are, the more activated you become, the more excited you become. And, you know, it's really just about clarity of purpose, of voice, of your message and your story. And that will carry you through.
Totally. And that takes courage too, to do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Again, it's a lot of chakra shit. It's intense, but you know what, to be able to get to that point, to tap into your prosperity potential, you have to do the work, right? You have to show up, you have to do the healing, and we need to do it as light leaders. Like we need to step up, and in order to step up, we have to do this healing first and foremost, so that way we can heal the masses.
And that healing totally starts with us too, because, you know, that's part of the foundation.
Yeah.
And then you also have, you're launching with La Luna, which is another branding with the moon.
Yeah, this is launching La Luna is so much fun. We sync your business with the moon. So the package starts on the new moon and we end on the full moon. The new moon begins with all of your intentions and manifestations for the beautiful digital home that we're going to create for you. And throughout that process, we have channeled designs. We're infusing your energy into every single piece of your business, every single design that goes into it. You know, I see your logo a lot differently than other people do. I see it as like your sacred imprints that will call in and attract your soulmate community, so they can show up for you and they can feel you online. And you know, everything is just so intentional and curated to you and where you're at and what you want to infuse into your life and business. And throughout that process, we have coaching calls, and it's really just to bring everything together to create a cohesive package of just you, so you could step up and be yourself and have this beautiful, radiant digital home. And we end on a full moon, and there's a full moon business clearing, so everything is crystal clear when you're ready to launch. And just really fun when you can, you know, bring your business together with the moon. Like that's where the magic really starts to happen, because you're just like amplifying everything that you're doing.
Yeah, it's literally Aquarian living. Like that's living in the golden era.
Yeah.
You know? It's just like, you can't deny it anymore.
No, it's just, you know, it's just allowing your business to be an extension of you. Like we do full moon rituals and we do new moon manifestations and we do all this stuff, but bringing it to your business is like, it's a whole, like, why don't we do that? We should do that. That should be natural.
Totally. I hear you. So I wanted to ask a couple fire questions before we head out. This has been like so enriching. I feel like enriched with this conversation. So
me too. I love it. High vibe combo.
Okay. So what would you say is one of your like main spirit animals right now?
Ooh, I mean, I always say wolf, but fox and wolf.
What about them?
I would say the fox is just like, is super smart, right? And not cunning, like that's a bad word to say, but I think just the way that they are just like so beautiful and majestic, the way you see them. And I think that that helps me like with the branding aspect to bring the beauty out in everyone else.
I love that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So what crystals would you say are the ones that like are your go-tos?
Oh yeah. Rose quartz and clear quartz. Those are my two go-tos all the time.
Yeah. Always good. Awesome. What would you tell younger Brianna today?
Oh, that she is awesome and she has a lot in store for her. So start speaking up for yourself, start showing up for yourself because you are beautiful and amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then what are one of your main goals of 2018?
Ooh, 2018. Damn. I would say I think my main mission for 2018 is to spread this message of really getting activated with the Kundalini and bringing this whole next wave of light leadership up to the masses and creating more of this conscious business. So I would love to really want to do speaking events and just travel the world and share this message, right? So I love working with people one-on-one, and I've done that and that feels so good, but I feel like I'm ready to share it on a grander scale. So that's what I'm bringing forth in 2018.
I'm just so proud of her. I had Brianna on, like, she was one of my coaching clients for a session, and like just to see like all of this, it's just like, I'm just like elated over here. I'm so excited for you. So
thank
awesome.
you. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, you're the best.
I love you. What would you say is one of your go-to Kundalini mantras?
Ooh, I mean, just Satnam, like just that's what I say all the fucking time, just merging with my soul, merging with my identity, bringing it in. And it's funny, I've got, like, I say it all the time, and my fiance, I'm slowly turning him into a Kundalini person. I'm trying to get him there, and I hear him, he's like, he'll say to me, he's like, Satnam. And I'm like, yes, it's working. People are starting to bring it into their world. And, you know, that's what it's all about, right?
So awesome. Okay, cool. So then what would be one, like not one word, but what would be some words of advice or encouragement you would like to share with whoever's listening?
Sure. Stop blending in. It's time for you to step up and shine and not give a fuck about what anyone is thinking about you. We're waiting for you to rise up and to shine, and you are ready. This is your sign. Get up, go do it.
Damn, girl.
Yeah. I am from New York. I need to be sure.
I know, she's speaking my language, girl. I'm a California girl, but like my roots are New York. Like my family's New York. I got that New York attitude, and that was perfect.
Yes.
Yes, girl. Awesome. All right. So then where can we find more about you and your business?
Sure. You can find me at www.imbriannarose.com. Brianna has 2 N's, and then you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at @IamBriannaRose. And I really look forward to hearing from the people that tuned in. Like, just like send us a message and let us know what's up, because I love connecting with everyone. You will get a personal response from me. I don't believe in like robots and all that stuff. Like, I want to say hi and connect and have like real virtual conversation.
Tell them.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks so much for being on this episode with me.
Thank you.
So good, and to really bring a really powerful episode like this into 2018. Like, I'm feeling really optimistic and really good about the future of this year and the years to come and what's happening, just because it's a massive wave of just like, you know, goddesspreneurs really, and entrepreneurs just really like waking up and being like, all right, enough's enough. Like, I'm fucking rad and I'm ready to share. So thank you for helping with that movement and for being here. And thanks to everyone for listening to this episode, and let us know what you think. You can leave a comment either on SoundCloud, or you can leave a review on iTunes. But I would really love to hear what you thought of this episode, and you know, how this has really inspired you to really wake up and show up in 2018. So thanks again, my love, for being here, and thank you. For listening.
So special.
Satnam.
Satnam.
Satnam. Satnam.